Smells good. Yeah. Did you go to a bunch of trouble now?
No, not at all,
Good.
no.
So,
It's a shame my father couldn't be here. He wanted to meet you and
yes, I would have liked to meet him very
hear
much.
all about this.
Yeah, certainly would have been nice.
Uh-huh.
No, as I was saying, your father and my grandfather were just about the only two cousins that saw each other. In other words, my grandfather saw, that I know of, only two of his cousins ever. And that was your father and Elna Persson in Söderhamn, that he also had a contact with. Other than that, of all these cousins, he never had any contact with any of them.
There wasn't much contact. I never heard about him, except when, what was her name, the oldest,
Margit.
and she came up once to Uddevalla. And my father said, and it's my cousin's daughter. I mean, I didn't even know there was any cousin's daughter.
No.
Oh, excuse me, I forgot cream and sugar. Do you use cream and
Please,
sugar?
if you have sugar and
Sure.
stuff, you know, I don't really need any cream, Patricia.
Yes, I put the sugar bowl out after him.
Oh, okay.
And so, then apparently there were some summers spent, or some summer weeks spent at Vargön, between where you may have met some of my father's brothers and sisters.
Now, do you have brothers and sisters?
I have one brother.
Is he in this country?
No, he's lived in Stockholm since we moved back to Sweden in '62. And then I moved back again to the States from Sweden in '71 and have more or less lived back here all along since then. So between the age of 2 and 14, and then between the age of 22 to now, basically, I lived in the States, with the exception of the last 3 years that I've been over here.
I see. So most of your life really has been here.
Yes. 26 or whatever it is, I was 40.
And then your childhood really was in Batavia then?
Batavia, yeah. 3 years in Chicago on Ridge Avenue, and then 8 years in Batavia. So.
And just got to wish this out.
I'm a Chicago West Sider too.
Well, Batavia has changed. You've gone back
Tomorrow.
recently. Oh, tomorrow.
Tomorrow we're doing that. And
You
also
eat one, two, Peter.
I'm going to have cookies, thank you.
a classmate of mine from grade school is coming to pick me up in Crown Point.
That sugar.
Take me
One
to
cream
Vegas
too.
tomorrow.
Nice.
Lars, cream? Do you want cream?
No, I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so
You are-
much.
Okay.
I'm going to just go rinse my hands off too, because we're running around for a few hours.
First door to the left there. Okay. You've seen quite a bit of America then, a little bit.
Yes. 5 or 6 days already.
You learn
Come here Friday and stay here till next Friday.
And then
went
go
back
out to
again.
California.
To California, yes.
Did you stop in New York or come to?
I come to New York and stay there. We took Saturday. We go to Philadelphia. We went to Philadelphia and then after that to New Jersey.
So New York, Philadelphia, New Jersey,
Yes.
and then on to Chicago,
Sunday evening to Chicago.
and then you've been to
To Crown Point.
that's Indiana, and
Indiana
then
and Cincinnati,
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Kentucky, Ohio, and so back again last night.
and then when do you leave for California?
We went to we go to Friday. We go from Chicago to Nebraska, to Omaha.
Oh,
From Omaha to Denver and Monteros, Los Angeles.
oh, this is a tiring trip. This is a lot to see and do.
Only 2 days for me in California.
And then
And
you'll
then
go.
back. And then back.
Did you learn to speak English in Sweden?
Yes.
In school?
In school, yes.
In school, yes. You speak good.
Mhm.
Very good.
No.
Oh, yes.
I could hear what you say, but I couldn't speak so much.
No.
Well, that's harder to.
When I got to Sweden, I understood them, but I couldn't speak Swedish.
I know what it's like. It's embarrassing too when you've been over there, you've had your childhood over there, and then like when I came back in '84 and had been in Los Angeles for 8 years without speaking hardly a word of Swedish, the fact that I had such a small vocabulary, but I had a good pronunciation, made them think that I was, dumb. Because I spoke the language like a native, but my vocabulary was so limited I couldn't just think of the words and things like this.
You didn't speak Swedish in your family? Yes.
During my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I've been out here on my own, I haven't had any Swedish friends in particular.
No.
Written letters and, talked to my parents on the phone, or my mother and my father came out to visit me a few times in California. So I would speak a little Swedish for a brief period of time. But we spoke a lot of English in our family too, like you do,
Well, I know no Swedish at all.
No. So it's
I
like
never learned.
my parents and I spoke a lot of English
No.
with each other too, not just Swedish. I've been told now, as the relatives that I've met that knew me when I was a child, that in Batavia here, for example, my brother and I never spoke a word of Swedish. My parents would speak to us in Swedish, and we'd answer in English, and we spoke only English with each other. So it's like, I had to learn a lot of Swedish too. English was my first language.
Well, it's like going to Montreal and walking down the street and one person is speaking English and the other person is speaking French.
Right.
Each are talking in their own language.
Right. This is delicious.
Thank you.
Is this your own?
Yes.
Very delicious.
How did you get in the hotel business from, that seems like an unusual.
When I quit school, or when I took I graduated, it's called the studentexamen in Sweden. It's like a junior college type of thing.
Do we still have that in Sweden?
Yes.
Studenten?
Yes, but they've changed it now, so it's like just basically by name. They don't have the same exams anymore.
No.
But
It's
after
about,
that, I took French for a year at the University of Stockholm because I was interested in languages, and fooled around. A girlfriend of mine who became a well-known singer quite suddenly after school opened a disco in Stockholm, so I was a disc jockey there, and then I taught disco dancing for a while, which was good exercise. And then my parents wanted to move back to the States in '71, so I went with them, and they were living in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I stayed there with them for about 5 or 6 months, and had helped out with the move and things. And then I made my way down to Miami Beach, and I met a girl there. I stayed a couple nights at her house, and we were, I was going to look at the Miami Herald, and she said, "There's an ad for a room clerk at the Fontainebleau Hotel. Why don't you go apply for the job, and we're going to look at the hotel?" I guess, I don't know if she was trying to get rid of me or what. But I went, she said, I said, "I don't know anything about the hotel business." She said, "Well, go see the hotel. It's an interesting place." So I went and applied for a job, and I got the job. So that's I started as a junior room clerk, and then I liked the hotel business. It was interesting. So I worked my way up then over the years of reaching somewhat of a junior management level. And that's where I am now.
Oh. So you really get to see, you've been around a lot of different places. Sounds like you like to travel and meet people.
Well, I do very much, yes, and it's always been I've always found what brings people together much more interesting than what divides people up into groups, So it's like, in this way I've been kind of difficult because I don't think it's too interesting to discuss different politics and different kind of religions and whatever people can get fanatic and upset about. I just feel it's better to, I'm very interested in just talking about things that bring people together, the basic human qualities in us instead, and try to avoid the issues that divide us up. So this is kind of, ever since I started making my own policies as an adult, I thought it was kind of fun to get people together. As Anders was just telling me about a fellow at his job who was an expert at doing the opposite, of starting fights between people. And I always had a hard time being around those kind of people, so it was more fun to get people together. But sometime back there in the 20s or 30s, I don't know, probably before you were married and came here,
Yeah.
there were some visits in Vargön, I think, between my father and aunts and uncles and,
Uh-huh.
and you and your sister and brother or something, because I know that
I have no memory of
No.
it, no. But we lived in Bergen all day.
Mhm.
Mhm.
we have a little uncle. There were 3 brothers that were born later than our parents,
Uh-huh.
by the name of Hans Riederstedt, and he apparently stayed or something with your family, but that may have been after you left Sweden, I don't know.
I left Sweden around 28 or 29.
Uh-huh.
I
Well,
think
he
it was
wasn't born
20.
until, what was Hans born in 19 or something like that?
Mm, 19 years.
But Bengta told me about it, that he had been sick or something, Hans.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Fritz Persson family took care of him for a while, because my grandmother had, 7 kids.
Uh-huh.
So he had stayed with your family at some time, this Uncle Hans of ours.
Everyone seems to have had rather large families.
Mm-hmm.
Each group you're talking about has had 7 children, 10 children. What is one? What did you say? 12? Is there one that had?
There's one that has 11, that's Patricia Castner.
That's unusual in Sweden,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't have big families here.
No,
Mhm.
but in the previous generations, I guess they have maybe a bigger.
Out on the farms.
No, yeah, especially out on the farm.
Mhm.
And so I wasn't prepared, for tracing this forward to 2,600 people. I thought it would be like a little more moderate than that, but.
Especially if you were going to put them all in oval frames on the wall.
Well, no, it was just the forefathers of mine, really. I wasn't getting those frames, but to get to them, to find pictures of a great-grandfather and grandmother, you might have to contact your third cousins or your parents' second cousins, because they might be in an older branch of the family.
Mhm.
Photos usually ended up with the oldest daughter, you see,
Mm.
and then she passed down to her oldest daughter. So we may have come from the youngest son or something like that in that particular family. And then, so you have to contact the other branches to search. And I started this out very stubborn. I'm going to find pictures if they've ever existed, these people. So being that stubborn, I had to contact distant branches of the family to get. We still don't have any pictures of your great-grandfather, grandmother, my great-great in
Mhm.
this family, because they died in 1866, 1869, so there wasn't too much photography going on in the old, out in the Skåne farms in those days. But as early as 1870s, you'll start finding pictures,
I'm amazed.
even of farm folk, outside of Borlänge and stuff like this. They had these traveling photographers that went around with their little machines and took pictures of people all over the country. It was the in thing to do. It was like a status thing to have your picture taken. So they dressed up nice in the pretty dresses and the suits and the ties, and had their pictures taken.
Well, maybe at that time pictures meant more. We take so many now. Oh, and I brought my camera tonight so I could take your pictures.
We've got
So
each
before
one
I
too.
leave, I want to do that.
We've got each one too, so I wanted to do it.
This is Patsy's family.
Oh, that's nice.
That's about 4 or 5 years old.
Uh-huh.
Now my son is out in California.
That's Aaron, right?
That's Aaron,
Yeah.
and he's living in California now.
Yeah, that's right. I knew that there was one in Los Angeles area or something.
Mhm. And my
And,
daughter's away at school.
Mm-hmm.
And
Your
course
husband?
back,
Yeah.
uh, Aaron's just been out there for a year.
Mm-hmm. Does he like it out there? Is he okay out there?
Yes, he
Yeah.
seems to enjoy it very much.
That's good, because it's easier to get
And
in
this is
trouble out there.
Lester, my son Lester and his wife.
Oh, that's
They've been
nice,
married
yeah.
25 years when
Uh-huh.
I talked there. That was taken about 2 years ago, a
Mhm.
year ago. That's the family.
And then Nelson. Where's Nelson? Do you have any pictures of him?
Well, except in his book here.
Oh, we'll get him.
I lived in Los Angeles for about 3 years before I could make and figure out what's going on, because it's so big and spread out that what I mean is, if you don't give it time, it doesn't turn you on right away. It wasn't until about after 5 years that I really started liking it out there. So.
Well, unfortunately, I think he likes it very much.
Okay, you'd rather
Yes.
you'd rather.
I'd rather have him around
Closer.
here, yes.
Nelson is photographer of Other trans,
Oh.
everything is trans. He gave up his books in Elna Patrick.
Oh, that's
And another,
nice.
he was an architect.
Uh-huh.
And that is Nelson's picture.
Uh-huh.
And I write that about
Oh,
him.
that's great.
And I think he resembles you.
Really?
Yes.
Amazing.
Uh-huh.
Nelson.
That's really
Yes,
nice.
I see a
Yes.
definite
Yes.
resemblance.
Huh. That's funny. Well, that's what's one of the most fascinating things is noting the resemblances too between them. We just came from a lady, she's 76, in Arlington Heights, second cousin of your mother.
Oh my gosh.
And she's just the most adorable woman. And just, you know, like almost exactly like our Aunt Bengta, the one that your mother remembers from childhood.
So there really is a family resemblance all the way down.
It's amazing.
Depending, it doesn't make any difference where the strand
No.
goes, you can see it.
You can see,
It
pick
may
up
st-
a pair of eyes here, a facial form
And
there, a
couple of
nose
pictures
there.
too.
Oh,
And I agree with you.
Yes.
Thanks.
That your, you know, that your brother looks a little bit like me.
Mhm.
His
I
col-
don't
his-
remember what this picture
His
looks
colors
like.
are
but
more
the-
Swedish, you know, but look at
Yeah,
it.
he's blonde.
Vem var det?
Det är hennes bror, the brother.
Yes, yes.
Och han är lite lik mig, tycker hon. Och det är faktiskt sant. Well, it's great. No, it must be hard to have that one away from you that far. I felt bad being that far away from my mother many times too, so he probably does.
Well, we've gone out there a couple of times, and then with airline fares being as inexpensive as they are right now, it's not that difficult to go out there for a weekend, or he comes home for a weekend. And his girlfriend is here.
Okay.
So they've worked it out. She'll go out there one weekend a month, and he comes back here the
Oh,
next
okay.
month.
All right.
So as long as they work it out that way, we get to see him.
That's good. Speaking
But
of
he
airline
enjoys
fares, the deal that we had then with the Swedish-American year, did I mention that to you? It's Swedish-American year this year, proclaimed by President Reagan and everything, in celebration of the 350th anniversary
Oh,
of
yes.
the settlement, the
Uh-huh.
colony, Swedish colony in Delaware.
Oh, I remember when the...
So
was
we're
it the
doing,
King
Anders
King?
is doing exactly what you've been told to do, namely to go back and forth and find your relatives and stuff like this between the two countries. This is the year it's supposed to be done. So the airlines like Pan Am has a special deal with United, that if you take their transatlantic flight, then you can hop around for $35 a flight here. So
$35?
Yes.
So we flew from New York to Chicago
Yes,
for
see-
$35, and we're flying on to Omaha a day after tomorrow for $35, and then we're going on to Los Angeles for $35,
And we can go to-
and he's going from Los Angeles back to New York for $35.
$35?
That's what makes this trip possible for him and for me. You
And
know,
we can go to Honolulu.
you can go to Honolulu for a little bit more. You know, he would have liked to go to
Oh.
Honolulu.
Why not?
When the normal flight
Special,
is,
yeah.
what, 500?
Yeah.
If you don't...
Is that
Was it
on
three?
Scandinavian S?
United.
It's Pan Am has a special deal with United. All the airlines have
Oh,
special
Pan
deals,
Am
but
and
this is the
United,
best
uh-huh.
one because I sorted through all of this stuff, and me and my travel agent, I found this one. So I was just going to go to Los Angeles and get my things and send my car to Sweden and take care of my furniture I have out there for so long. But then I started hearing about these flight deals, and I had been doing this. I'd spoken with your mother and some other delightful people over here in different areas, and I thought, gee, I wonder if I couldn't just swing to stop in a few places and see a few of these nice people I talked to. So that's what we're up to.
Oh, that's one at $35 a flight?
Yeah.
Well, you remember
Oh,
me
that's
as
wonderful.
relatives that came over here. We could fly for 1 whole month on Continental.
That was for a set price, and then they could
Yes.
go anywhere that
Yeah,
Continental
any
Island.
place in the United States
So
you could
once in a
fly.
while they get these
Mhm.
deals, you know.
That's to draw people from other countries.
That was
I
like
think.
$1,000 a piece from Sweden round trip,
Mhm.
and anywhere they wanted to. I think it was, the initial cost was rather large,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
but then there was no cost for any of the places they wanted to go. But there was a time limit to that. Is there a time limit on yours?
I believe so. Yeah, it has to be within the time. Yeah, when you book your transatlantic flight, you have to book coming in and going out. So I have a ticket that's valid for a month, and he has a ticket that's valid for 2 weeks. So during that month or during those 2 weeks, you can do these excursions.
And if you decide tomorrow that you want to, say, go to Dallas,
Just
you can just call up
$35.
and,
They're on $35 back. So it's like we're going to Montrose, Colorado,
Uh-huh.
to visit your second cousin, Myrtle Ross, who's 90 years old up there, and
Oh.
who has been also delightful and written me. We're flying first into Denver from Omaha on Tuesday, and then we're taking
that's
some...
where Nelson is.
Uh-huh.
Mountain Nelson
Uh-huh.
is.
It's a very interesting book for
Yeah,
me.
he's in the railroad business.
Are you really?
He sells,
Yes.
he's one of the biggest Swedish steel mills and sells rails all over the world.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, my brother works for a railroad.
Oh,
What one is it?
Rio Grande.
Is
Rio
it
Grande.
still called the Rio Grande now that they were taken
Yeah.
over?
But I don't know what we're going to call it yet.
Well, it was the Rio Grande, whether it's...
Southern California, we took over Southern California. Yeah. Southern.
So the railroad has been his
yes.
interest all of his
Yes.
life.
The same
his
as Nelson.
photography
I,
and...
Nelson is
Work
all
at the
railroad.
steel factory,
Oh,
and we produce steel rails.
to send to America?
Yeah,
Yes.
they sell to the
Even
subway
to
in New York
America.
and all over the place. Huh?
And we do not...
Houston, Los Angeles, New York's subways, and
Isn't that interesting? I thought our steel mills...
You want another cup
supplied
of tea,
all that.
anybody?
I'd love to have another little cup of tea if you're so kind. See?
Yes.
The same bag is all right.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I didn't even think of that. Of course, it's very interesting for you.
yes.
Where can I find this book? Is it for sale now somewhere?
It used to be at Crocs and Brantano's. This is, what, 2 years old now, maybe 3 years old,
But
so
I should be able to order
probably,
it through any major bookshop.
if it's still,
If it is not a print.
yeah.
Anders,
Yes.
lägg boken någonstans så jag kan skriva upp vad den heter, så ska vi försöka få tag på version of it. I'm telling you, we should try to get each a copy of that book because it's very nice. I am collecting a little bit of literature because we've had several authors, several people that were involved with publishing in this family research. So I'm hoping to have a little collection of different books by different people.
Well, you
I've
said
written
you're
a little
writing.
bit, yeah, so I'm hoping to get something published in the next few years. I've been talked into doing a book on the Beverly Hills Hotel to start with, and my experiences there with a lot of people. Not a scandal book, but
Excuse
just
me,
cute
Patsy.
stories,
Something a la California Suite?
Well,
that sort
yeah,
of?
something like that. And telling a few little true things about some of these well-known people, but nothing embarrassing and scandalous. Just a
Oh,
few
well, that's
cute
no
little
fun.
stories. No,
I mean, if you're going to do
you
it,
want to read
let's...
that dirt, right? But anyway, we'll see what I do on this night shift at this hotel up there. I might just start tinkering a little bit.
I'm sure you got to see a number of interesting things.
So anyway, I was telling you, on Thursday then we're taking this flight from Omaha to Denver, and then we're changing to this little plane, going over the highest Rockies to get down to the airport in Montrose, and her daughter's coming, and son-in-law coming to pick us up to drive us up to Eckerd, Colorado, way up there, to visit this lady who's helped me solve this whole last mystery with this family by recognizing some pictures that I sent her copies of that we found in an attic in Hässleholm. And so this is costing us then $35 from Omaha to Denver, and then $35 from Denver to Montrose, another $35 to Montrose back to Denver, and then another $35 to Los Angeles. So this way, if you have to change flights each time, it costs you $35 too, but it's still an excellent deal. So I was saying to Anders, I was reading the computerized itinerary of these different flights that travelers have put out. And on this one flight, when we're doing this little plane across these, it says one stop, and I said to him, I hope it's a planned stop.
Or they just put it in there,
Just in case.
parachute at no extra cost.
So, anyways.
Wait, where is Montrose? Is that near Colorado Springs or something?
No, it's on
airport?
it's on the west side.
You want
On the
another
west
cup of
side,
tea?
in
I
western
need
Colorado,
fresh
where
cup
I've never
of
been
tea,
before.
then
In the highest part of there, like near
I can
nothing
take his
really. I mean,
beer.
there's like small towns all
Take
across
his-
that side of Colorado.
So you're really flying into a local airport
Yeah,
then?
just a local airport.
It would be like flying into Eau Claire, Wisconsin?
Something like
or-
that, yeah.
So this must be a 12-seater plane, one of those very local.
Thank you very much.
just started flying a few years ago.
Well, I'm with him. I like flying DC-10s. You know, the bigger the better. I feel more comfortable.
You want more
Well, we're
tea?
looking
Yes,
forward to it.
please.
It's a big
Okay.
adventure, really. She just had her 90th birthday, so she told me that it's going to be like part of her 90th birthday celebration.
What fun.
Yeah. And then on May 5th next year is the 120th birthday, 120th anniversary of the death of Trued Abrehamsson, who was your mother's great-grandfather and our great-great-grandfather.
How do you keep all of this straight?
The horse trader. Right?
Oh, well, now I've got it. The horse trader whose children all went everywhere.
We have now
Okay.
found the church in Norra Sandby where he was buried in Skåne. And we have also found his barn. That's all that's left of the farm. And we're telling everyone that this May 5th thing is going to be as many people that want to come and can get it together are going to get together in Norra Sandby and have a little get-together. So I'm already telling everyone about that, and then we'll just send something out and we'll see who can show up. It would be very nice to have someone of the Patrick clan come over, you know, in case you can plan it. And like you say, sometimes the flights aren't so bad. We'll just see what happens, but it will be a lot of fun. There have been over 700 descendants of Trued Abrehamsson and his wife Karna, and there's about 480 of them living still. And so it's you know, fun to get to a few people from each of these branches.
As you're doing all of these branches, the paper or whatever you're keeping track
Well,
on, either that or you have your own personal computer
we've
that...
had a computer do it, yeah. And at first I typed it out long. At first I wrote it out longhand. This is when I was like calling your mother the first time, trying to jot these things down. So there's a few mistakes here and there on birth dates and names and stuff because I've taken them mostly over the phone. And then I wrote it out, typed it out, and then a friend of mine has a computer company, so we put it into machines to get it to print nice. And now we're having a little bit of computer problems. We can't get it out the way that we had first been able to get it out, so I have to solve that when I get back. This is to make copying it easy. In case anyone wants a copy of the whole thing or a few pages or whatever they want, you can just easily print it up and just charge the paper. I'm not in business, this is not a business venture like these people that want to sell you your genealogy or something like that, but it's just that
How about another piece
in
of
order to
this?
get it to print easy,
No,
you smack it into the computer. And
another cookie and
if you want just a page with your family, I can do just that, or if you want the whole thing, you don't have to, if you bind it into a book, then you don't know that everybody's interested in all of it, It's easier to have it in a computer so you can just give out the parts that people are interested in. And then the photo file, we've gotten together with pictures like the ones we borrowed from your aunt. We have getting to get a pretty complete photo file on the older generations of pictures that existed, so that if anyone wants their great-grandmother in an oval on their wall, they'll know, not just during my lifetime, but always where this is, you see.
Ah.
And where you can write to get a copy of your great-grandmother on the wall without having to. So I'm trying to what I've done is try to set up something that can be permanent information for people. Turning a copy of this report into the library over in Sweden too, they were very interested in it and wanted to have it. And also so that, people won't have to go through what I did to find a few pictures of their great-grandparents and stuff.
And turn out
They'll
with
know.
2,000 relatives as you're putting a few pictures on the wall. Yeah. And you were in Hinsdale, so there were some other relatives in Hinsdale as well?
There's the relatives in Hinsdale on our grandmother's side. We're related on our grandfather's side.
Now, which one is the horse trader, grandmother's or grandfather's?
That's our mutual founding father, was the
Okay.
horse trader. And so he has to be admired because even if he did something shifty and even if he was a horse trader or whatever, he has to be admired for having gotten his 8 children through. And so that we're
All
sitting here.
2,000 of us
Yes, right.
can exist.
And so I don't care what he did or didn't do. That's old hat, but I want to put maybe a little stone at that churchyard on the May 5th because I think it's very impressive to have over 700 descendants in one couple that went through very hard times. Very hard times these people went through just to get their children food,
Mm-hmm.
And there was poverty, and there was the church being strict, and there was a lot of things that people went through in those days that there wasn't no train to get on. If you wanted to go to the next town, you walked or you got on your horse. I mean, just think about that. That was it. If you didn't ride, you walked. 'Cause there
No
was
telephones,
no
no
telephone.
television.
And many of these farms, they didn't have any wagons. They didn't, they didn't have anything to sit on. You sat on a horse. You didn't go anywhere. And just thinking about those kind of things, it's amazing what these people went through to put us here. You see,
Mhm.
in the. So.
And in
Your
the
son
Philippines?
and your daughter have a fourth cousin who doesn't understand a word of English or Swedish, just speaks only Portuguese. Because he's lived in Rio de Janeiro all his life.
Ooh. And then one in the Philippines, you said, in
Mhm.
Manila?
That's on our grandmother's side, so that one is not related to you. But this is like in the whole thing that I've done. In this A family, as it's called, because it's my paternity, my paternal side, that's number one, that genealogy. I've got, which is our family. We've got most of the people in Sweden, some in Denmark. There's a branch of the family been for a couple of generations in Copenhagen. And then there's people throughout the United States and in several countries in Europe. In France is one. Some people living. Then there's this Brazilian fella. And, well, we'll look at it. I got it all. Take a peek at it. I'm going to get it out now.
And then Gita lives in Spain most of the time, doesn't she?
Yes.
Or she did, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what she goes by, Gita more than Maria, huh?
Yes. I only know her by Gita.
I see.
I never heard Maria.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know she had the name Maria.
Well,
I thought
maybe
it was
that's not-
Margareta. I thought her name was Margareta.
Yeah.
I thought,
Margareta and Greta is the same.
Yeah, but this is Geta.
Greta?
Geta, yeah.
mhm,
Geta, yeah.
yeah. Margareta was her real name, wasn't
Mhm.
it?
Yes.
Where does Maria come in then?
I don't know, she calls herself Maria Lange. That's the only name that I've been...
Well, Marlänge, since she was married to that
Mhm.
Danish fella,
Mhm.
yes. He was a multimillionaire.
Mhm.
Well, Nelson goes by Nelson in the family and is Melvin to everybody else.
Well, his name is Melvin Nelson Patrick, yes.
Well,
And Melvin is the
Gita,
husband.
it may be Gita to family
Well, I think
and Maria to other people.
I always thought that, Margarita, you have a nickname. As a rule, we call them Greta over in Sweden, and she probably it was small, said Gita, and stuck with that.
Let's show Mama here a little bit of this.
Okay.
I had to put my glasses on now.
I'm going to move this up.
Ta stort så.
Where do you have to go tonight now?
Back to Crown Point.
Oh, that's it. That's about an hour's drive anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, about an hour.
I like riding here. We drove all the way down to Cincinnati yesterday and back.
Well,
Uh-huh.
that's a 5-hour drive.
About 4. And when we came back up, I told Anders I couldn't do another couple hours driving. I love driving on American Expressway. It really does my father and I drove around this country a lot. He loved also to drive on the expressways, and we covered a lot of ground.
No wonder California doesn't bother you.
No, it's true. I've gotten used to that stuff out there. So.
I guess after California and a little bit of New York, nothing would bother you.
Well, but I think Chicago is the nicest town of the big ones in the States.
Oh, yes, this one is very
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this one, in other words, is your... Sit down now.
Yes, okay.
This one is your great-grandfather and great-grandmother, Trued Abrehamsson
Yeah.
and Karna Johansdotter.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever hear their names mentioned at all before?
No,
Never
no,
did.
never.
So this one is, this is his parents
Uh-huh,
and his parents. So this is as far back as we've got.
uh-huh.
The earliest date in this family is Abraham Åkesson, who was born in 1777. That's your great-great-grandfather.
Uh-huh.
And our great-great-great-grandfather.
Mhm.
Then these are the children in the family, their
Mhm.
children, okay?
Mhm.
Johanna, there's a family by the name of Landgren after her oldest son in the Malmö area.
Mhm.
Bengta, this is the one that there's a tremendous amount of people all over Skåne, and
Uh-huh.
1 branch in Denmark.
Uh-huh.
Elna, your grandmother, your 3 aunts, your father,
Yes.
and then we have
Matilda and Lina and Anna.
yeah.
Mhm.
Here's you, and
Fritz,
Patricia. You're the youngest, or the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
Oldest. That's
Mhm.
you, and that's your 2 children then.
Mhm.
So each of these little twigs represents people too.
Uh-huh.
Then we have Trued Karna's oldest son, Ola, died when he was 17. Then the next oldest was Anders Selander in Söderhamn, way up north in Sweden.
Uh-huh.
And this is the cousin that my Elna Persson, that my grandfather also had contact with.
Uh-huh.
Then the next son was John Ridderstedt, born Truedson, and who got the name of Ridderstedt from the last of the original Ridderstedt's family that he
Uh-huh.
works for.
Uh-huh.
It was in those days to get a family name instead of the son name.
Yes, yes.
So in other words, Trued's children all were at birth they were called Johanna, Bengta, and Elna Truedsdotter,
Yes,
daughter
yes.
of Trued,
Mm-hmm.
and the sons were all called Truedson.
Mm-hmm.
But then these 2 sons got their own family names
Uh-huh.
starting then.
Ridderstedt.
You're right. So this is my grandfather
Yeah.
and his brothers and sisters. This is a family in California and Colorado because he came here early.
Mm-hmm.
This is also a family in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
This is a family all over Michigan, the oldest
Uh-huh.
of hers daughters. And then my father was the only one of these children that went to the States.
Mm-hmm.
This is Anders' mother, Margit, that you remember.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Anders and his 2 children, and his brothers and sisters. And this is my father, Erik,
Uh-huh.
and me and my brother. Ridderstedt for me in this country was hopeless.
Yes.
Okay, it turned out Rickerstecker and Ridderslap and Ricker. So I just decided to stop with this and to find a shorter name. And researching back in the name Ridderstedt, I found Demitz, which is an original name, one of these branches of that family. So I figured that can't get screwed up too bad, so I took that name instead. And that's worked out much better. My father was the first one to understand. He wrote to me right away in the new name because he'd gone through this in the States of, I spell it for you. No, it's still wrong. I spell it for you again, you know. So then, this is my great-grandfather, John Ridderstedt.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the next son, Nils Truedson, who when he got off the boat in somewhere on the East Coast, they asked him, what is your name? And he said, Nils Truedson, in his Skåne accent.
Yes.
And they wrote down Nels Truedson. And that's been the name of the family ever since. Truhlsen.
Yes.
And so then his
This is
sister
okay.
also came over. She was married to a Danish-German fella. And this is the branch that we're working on now that has just opened up.
Mhm.
This Anna was here before with just this and a little question mark all over. We
Yeah,
didn't know anything.
uh-huh.
So just during this last month, we've had these developments. We know what our children are. We know about 11 children here, and it's starting to grow. I just
Are they in Sweden, all them?
all over the States. These are all, for starting here,
Mhm.
it's all American.
They're all American.
Mm.
I
It's
just
amazing
came
how
from
much of
her
this
house.
is American.
I just came from her house in Arlington Heights.
Uh-huh.
Your second cousin by the name of Edith Davis.
Uh-huh.
Very, very lovely lady that I wish you could
Mhm.
meet. We just came from interviewing her
Mm-hmm.
and spending about an hour.
Oh, you
with her.
came up from there now?
Yeah, just came
Mm.
You
from
came St. Charles Road then?
St. Charles Road. Yeah.
Yes, okay.
And I just recently discovered her. The first time I ever talked to her was just a few weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
So she just had time to get my letter explaining to her that I'm not some kind of a kook by the time I got here. And so it was more of a surprise to her
Uh-huh.
because I've been in touch with for a little while at least, so you knew a little bit about what it was. And
Yes.
our families have been in contact a couple of times
Yes.
in the previous generations,
Yes.
but nothing in this one.
No.
So she's never heard of any of these people in her whole life. She's heard of her uncle, or her mother's uncle, and her mother's cousins, some of them, but none of this other stuff she ever heard.
So she has only heard really of the
The American
branch.
branch.
I see.
So here, there's a lot more to do here, and then I had to make the tree like on a cliff because I had to open up the ground here to fit this in, until it started growing.
Uh-huh. That was great. My husband got such a kick out of that. He was looking at all
Oh,
their
good.
names.
I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And this is your great grandfather's signature.
Oh my.
from a document in 1841.
It's a nice handwriting
Oh,
for
yeah.
that time, yeah.
For it to be a horse trader in Hässleholm, that's pretty good handwriting. So
Yes.
I think that
I'd
they
say.
had some pretty good schooling too. These people, you know.
Uh-huh.
So this is a little section on him and his data,
Uh-huh.
and then there's a lot of abbreviations in here, like everything except names and dates are little abbreviations, and that's because we have so many relatives that speak so many different languages, not just English and Swedish, so that it's easier for me to translate a little abbreviation list of one page than to translate this whole thing. So if
Uh-huh.
you just translate this to Portuguese, then our friend in Rio can also enjoy it. You know,
Uh-huh.
I see.
that's the idea behind that. So then there's Trued and Karna and all of their children and the data on them.
Wow.
And then it does them section by section. This is Johanna, the oldest daughter. There's no picture of her that we know of, so I've used a picture of her son,
Uh-huh.
Olof Landgren.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the next daughter, Bengta, and her quite large family, mostly all over Skåne.
Is that
That's your grandmother's sister. Your
Uh-huh.
grandmother Elna's sister.
uh-huh.
And then we have your grandmother Elna. This came out a little bit black and white on
Uh-huh.
this, but you know, we're gonna
Uh-huh.
fix these pictures up better. And then your family here. And then we have your grandmother's brother Anders Selander up there in
Uh-huh.
Söderhamn.
Uh-huh.
And then there's my great-grandfather Jon Ridderstedt and his wife, of course,
Christina.
also now, because there's a section on her. See, I've done every family, so I've also done her family that you're not related to. So here's all of us, you know. And
Not so much work.
Oh, yes.
then there's Nels Truedson, who came out here in the 1870s, and all of his family. Tomorrow afternoon I'm meeting with a granddaughter of his down here in Chicago. Very, very nice lady. Also, that would be a second cousin of yours, and who's been the major help in doing this. She's just. I was born on her 20th birthday, and I don't know if you know, just astrologically speaking, we're
It's
very
worked out.
much the same, you know. And she's just been great and interested in this. Her brother is a very well-known ophthalmologist in Omaha, Stanley Truedson, at the Emmanuel Center there.
Uh-huh.
And her daughter is married to the CEO of Holiday Inns and Executive Suites that I never even knew that I was related to, but I knew his name from before
Mhm.
when I said.
Oh, it makes it a small world, doesn't it?
It's so strange. And so she said to me that they had booked a suite to meet Anders and me, and they wanted us to come stay there the last night when we were in this area at the downtown city center Holiday Inn. And I said, well, you know, how much is it? Because we want to share the cost. And she said, well, it's not costing me anything because my daughter is married.
So it
such and
becomes-
such, you know. So anyway, they're very nice people. Everything from farmers in Blair, Nebraska, to these people, you know. And then there's the tragedies. In all of these families, you have
Uh-huh.
all kinds of tragedies too, you know.
Uh-huh.
None of these families has been spared from alcoholism, suicide, and marital difficulties and illegitimate children, and one thing after the other.
Uh-huh.
You have to expect that when you do this big of a project. You know that you discover a lot of problems as well as a lot of nice things.
Yes.
That's humanity.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's like being human. You see. So, and then this is the last little branch here with this Anna that we've just recently started. Her branch is going to grow now,
Uh-huh.
and that'll be then the whole thing is finished after that.
Well, if you didn't know she existed before, and all of a sudden it's opened up,
No, yes, she
the
existed.
opportunity.
I had her birth, and I had her in Flensburg, Germany in 1871, and that's it. And I was barking up the wrong tree for a long time because of an old letter that proved to have incorrect information, looking for her in Copenhagen, where she may never even have been to Copenhagen. And then it's just recently that I found her here in Nebraska with her brother. Having babies, we're having babies, we're having babies.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
It's amazing how many immigrated to the United States.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. They did in the old time, I guess.
Yes.
Quite a few, yeah.
I would think Europe more than the United
No, we went to
States.
the United States.
Yeah, it was a very big thing to do, the pioneering spirit, you know, and the...
It was farmers last for them.
Yeah.
And came from big farm families.
Mm-hmm.
And so this would be the ideal place as opposed
Yes,
to...
yes.
Farmland,
Yes.
you know,
Mhm.
making it big and then in the new
This was the
world,
new country, you know. Over in Europe, I mean, that was harder to get into it.
It was the strong pioneering types, you know, that came over here. And that's why I guess there's such high ages. You know, in these families, there's people that are getting up 96, 99, and still out there sawing down limbs and painting barns, you know, we've heard.
Well, tough
Especially these
stock.
branches that came over here in those days, you know, so I guess it was the hardy ones, you know,
Yes.
that took the adventurous steps, I guess. I'm kind of hoping that some of it wore off, or some of those genes wore off on me, you know.
Well, it sounds like it from all of this. There's some
And then
pretty
there's
hardy stock.
Then there's a geographical report also that I've done telling where people are, the living relatives now.
Yes,
So that by province or by town, you can look up.
yes.
Where I can look up
Oh
where
my
I have
gosh.
relatives. You know, this is in Sweden. All of these people here by town, you know, and then we've got in the United States we got all these people. So anyone with an A in front of it is also a relative of yours, because your
Because
branch
it's
is,
out of that...
your branch is A3 coming from
Uh-huh,
Elna.
uh-huh.
A3. So anyway, it's been the most
How many
fun.
years have you been doing this now?
Well, I started looking for these pictures about 4 years ago, but this has been like an intense thing that I've been pursuing during the last year and a half when I've had these things wrong, you know, with my face that have kind of set me back and given me time. Under normal circumstances, no one in their right mind would ever have time to do something like this, but there have been circumstances that have pushed me forward, kind of, and things that have happened to me that have let me do this for some reason. I don't know why, but it's just, you know, and normally I've never had time to do something like this. But it's just I've been able to pursue it because of the circumstances I was in, with splitting up the estate and with these things I've had in my face. A lot of luck, tremendous amount of unusual, almost scary luck in some cases, where I've
Almost like something is meant to be then.
very strange, yeah. But I feel that I really do feel that way sometimes. You know, that I don't know if it's Trued and Karna and the rest of these folks pushing me, my other 7 couples of great-grandparents, or what it is. But there's many strange things have happened that have helped me get this thing finished. Not just the fact that a week before I'm about to leave, that this opens up. I was ready to give up on her. You know, I was like hopeless to find anything in this one.
And yet you're going to just the right place,
Now we've got it
coming
all.
to the United States
Sure,
to follow it up
yeah.
on.
And a week before I came here, we had gotten just a little information on this, and Jody Johns, the lady that I've been mostly in touch with here, and I had the same idea. I just want to put this on hold because I'm doing all the things that are left on that. We think that this is... What? In the car. Let me check to see how much is left.
Oh, yes.
Is there anything left?
Yes.
Okay. This we think is Johanna. We're not quite sure yet. We're hoping to find this picture in somebody's old box of pictures with something scribbled on the back, but we have reason to believe it's her. This is her son, Olof Landgren. In other words, your father's cousin, your father's oldest cousin. Our grandfather. This is him and his family around 1900. And this is descendants of his. This is Bengta, this one here, and her family.
These are well-preserved photographs. Or are these copies that
These
you've
are
had
copies
made?
that my uncle and I have made. I have an uncle who's been in the photo business for many years. He's 79.
Oh,
And he's got out his old equipment that does a good job, and we've photographed and made negatives of all these pictures. So it's a foster granddaughter of hers, this lady's, that's helped me trace all these people down in Skåne. And this is also this is Matilda here, and this is Amanda here, and this is Axel right there, and that's Augusta right here. We had all of these. Augusta was the biggest.
Tremendous, isn't it?
the biggest-
Augusta is really prolific here.
Augusta
All
was
of this
the
belongs to
the biggest
Augusta?
biggest mother in this whole thing, in that generation.
I'd say.
And then we got Anna Beck, who moved to Denmark, so she became, this is the Danish stammoder, or whatever you call it. Yeah. And then it's a few other relatives. This is your second cousin, Anna Nilsson. that I visited in Skåne, just who we've never known about. And this is also some of the Danish branch. This is the Trued farm in Norra Sandby, where they lived in the 1860s. And this is where Bengta lived, and all of her children were brought up. Outside of Hässleholm. And these are the homes of some of the other branches up there. And here we have some people that are a little closer to home.
Who is that?
That's your great-grandmother.
Ah. Do you recognize that? No?
I probably saw her. I don't think I hardly have a memory of her.
No? Do you
No.
remember anything of her at all?
No. Well, I probably remember an old lady being there, but
Mm-hmm.
not that much.
And this is found down in Skåne. This is Elna, your father Fritz, your grandfather Sven, and your three aunts. This was about 1882, 85. Picture is pretty badly faded, unfortunately.
You said that's my father.
Yes, that's your father Fritz.
Well, I can't even.
See, no.
No.
No, you can't see that picture.
Anna Matilda. Linas the one I.
Here's your father Fritz.
Yes, I had the picture of him when he was young.
Mm-hmm. Very
Handsome man. Mm-hmm.
I've heard a lot of nice things about your father Fritz.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I certainly did. Particularly my Aunt Bengta. She liked him very much, she said.
I didn't know that she even met him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Heard a lot of nice things about him. And here's your aunts. Anna, Lina, and Matilda. Mats, she says that you're...
Yes.
Yeah. Your sister says she was called.
This is the one you said you knew?
Yes.
Mhm.
Pastelina, yes, that's.
No, I heard your father was a very nice man, that he took very good care of relatives that visited him, and that he had a great sense of humor.
Yeah, he was a talker.
Yeah.
My father was a very good talker.
Uh-huh.
Yes, he could tell stories and, make something of it.
That was a lot like my father.
Uh-huh.
He was also a very good talker.
Uh-huh.
Could make
And he was in
entertaining stories.
politics for a while,
Uh-huh,
too,
uh-huh,
running
uh-huh.
things. Yeah.
And so then this is anyway, goes on into the other branches, the one in
Mhm.
Söderhamn. This is my
Mhm.
great-grandfather in Borlänge,
Mm-hmm.
Jan Ridderstedt, and his oldest son that moved to America,
Mhm.
and his daughters,
Mm-hmm.
and then the son that moved to New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come to my more immediate family, and Anders' more immediate family. This is our grandfather, Jacob Ridderstedt, when he was young. And he and my grandfather and grandmother. This is Jacob and his wife and all the children from around the time.
Oh, my goodness.
And this is what he looked like probably around in the 20s when you may have known him.
Does it look
He was
familiar?
more like a husky man, I remember him.
Mhm.
Yes.
It just may not show in that
This
picture.
is my mother.
Margit.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Dear.
I met
Very
her.
pretty.
Uh-huh.
She is here.
Uh-huh.
So that's
did
Margit.
it?
This is Jacob and Hilda too.
Uh-huh.
And this is
Where's
Mats, my uncle. And Bengta, my aunt.
Uh-huh.
And my father, Erik.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Very nice looking family.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the three younger sons, Hans, Lars, and Bengt.
Uh-huh.
And Lars has had a little bit to do with the building of the churches and things, so this is with the king here. It's kind of fun to put, to have the picture also.
He's an architect, or what is
He's
he?
a church he's been in church architecture quite a bit, and has been
That's what the King of Sweden.
Yes, Gustav Adolf.
been a consultant with the government for building churches and locations and
Uh-huh.
architecture. this is my father when he was older. This is,
Uh-huh.
and me and my brother and my mother.
Uh-huh.
My brother when he was 19 and me when I was 19.
Uh-huh.
You look like a beetle.
This was right around that time.
Beatles time.
Yeah.
This was right around the Beatles time, yeah, that's correct. So, and then there's just me when I'm a little, now more like this age, and this is the house in Batavia where I grew up, that I'm going to tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
And Batavia has grown up. It's
Yes.
really filling
That's
in.
what I've heard. This was Bengta when she was younger, from around the time when you may have met her.
No, she was
My
small
Aunt
at that
Bengta,
time.
yeah. And then we have these Truedson people, all these American relatives of ours,
Mm-hmm.
that here that one can recognize some traits in some of them too. It's very fun to see. This is the Truedson farm that I hope is still there in Blair, Nebraska. A real pioneer-looking type of
Oh, it
place,
certainly is.
And this last one, Anna. That's I forgot to show these pictures to her. I wanted to find out if that was her grandmother, and I forgot to show them.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this one key picture I want to show. This is my mother's family. But in here we have the emigration picture. This is one that I want to have blown up big someday.
Uh-huh.
That's way out in the Atlantic in 1950. This is just after I had met your sister the first time, then when we left from Gothenburg in 1950.
Uh-huh.
It's my mother and me and my brother.
Uh-huh.
Of course, at that time you didn't fly, you took it.
No, I took it off, yeah. Yeah, that was fun too.
And then there's this little, get the little old album there. In the blue.
Well, you get quite a bit of your family there.
Yeah,
isn't it?
interesting.
No, what's that? Oh, yes. This album belonged to Bengta at one time and was found in the same batch as with those pictures that we found in that attic. And so I've redone this for like my family. So there's a lot of pictures in here that we didn't know who they were.
Mm-hmm.
So I start with my grandfather. This is the lady that kept the album, Matilda over here, that
Uh-huh.
through whom we're able to get this
Uh-huh.
one. But this is the originals of these pictures. This is the original of your grandmother. So you may be able to see a little better that your father and your grandfather, but it's very faded, that picture, unfortunately, so it's hard to get a better copy of it. These pictures were in this album in school.
Oh.
This one and this one.
That's something, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And these two also were in this album. Anders Bergman in Söderhamn,
Uh-huh.
and Nels Truedson in Nebraska was in
Uh-huh.
this album in southern Sweden.
And that was packed away for years and years and years.
And the people that owned it now had no idea who any of these people were.
Mostly you forgot away.
So, it's like good. And then it's just other relatives and other
Uh-huh,
branches of the
uh-huh.
family. But, and then this is these are the same pictures that were in the other one. Yeah, same pictures. It's a little album with my grandparents, and they're kind of cute pictures, all of my grandparents and their brothers and sisters, just from some of the clothes and the hairstyles. It's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And they had put this together.
No, I did this.
Ah.
This is a little album that my mother had, and I picked it when my brother and I divided up such things. I thought, what am I ever going to use an album like that for? Then I counted the pages, and it was the exact right number of pages to do this with it. So,
Mm-hmm.
putting all of that generation.
Nice looking families, isn't it?
Mhm.
I'm going
You
to
don't
just-
look like farmers.
No?
Well,
But then all
people
branches
got
aren't.
dressed up, People got dressed up in those days. And,
Yes, I guess we did, yes.
And there were a lot of farmers, too.
Oh, yes.
And thank God there were, because what would we have eaten otherwise?
No.
Well, that's the hardy far near stock, too.
I'm going to step out and take a little puff off of a cigarette, if I may.
You can smoke in here, that's all
Do you
right.
smoke in here?
Yes, you can smoke in
I'll
here.
step out inside.
No, that's all right.
Huh?
That's
Huh?
perfect.
No,
yeah.
that's
Is it all right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's no problem at all.
Because I'm used to going outside, so it really doesn't.
No.
We have to find an ashtray since
Yeah,
my
there's
mom
one
and dad-
here,
Is there
there's
one
one
there?
right
Okay.
there on the table, yes.
Yeah.
Du har pannan du, Lars. Vänta och se. Du har min panna. Han ska vara en bok här.
Would Nelson have any more copies of those, Ma'am? Of his book? Does
I
he
don't
have
think
any
so.
more?
I don't think so.
No, we'll see if we can get up to a bookshop or else an antiquarian bookshop.
In Denver, there could be. Clark
was-
Montana was selling.
Should
it.
I
They
call
sold
him
them
and
here.
tell him that I'll be at the Denver airport for a few hours there in between flights, you think? Or, you know, you think you'd be interested in meeting for a little while or what? I don't know.
Oh, it'd be fun to call him and find
I was
out.
just thinking, you know, I'd give him a call, maybe tell him I'd been here. It'd be fun to just meet with him for a short while.
I've been trying to call him for 2 days, so I hope you have better luck than I do.
Okay.
Well, he
You tell
goes
him
to
to-
work. He goes to work at 2 o'clock or something like that, and he works until 11 or 12.
Mhm.
So
At
depending
night.
on your time.
2 to
yeah.
11, I think he works at evenings, yes. And
Well, he's the one that looks like me, right?
Right,
It
so that would
wouldn't
be the fun
funny?
part.
Yeah.
yes,
'Cause
So that would
I
be
agree
fun.
with you, and I haven't found anyone. I found people that looked a little like me before, but never anyone that looked quite that much like
and
me.
he's
Well, that's what I thought when I saw.
he's
I thought
blonde
that
and
when
used
you
back.
got out of the car. I thought,
Really?
oh, the
Oh,
resemblance.
that's great.
It was like seeing my brother get out of the car.
Because I recognize a little bit of your
Oh.
great grandmother in your
I
face,
have
too,
I
on
have a
that
picture of that one here in the back.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.